What a way to begin another day of broadcasting right here in the Issues Room on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is our 62nd edition. Volcano Shelton coming your way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I will soon be joined by Moses, Sandy, and others. Tonight we'll be featuring the new Kru Town Association in the Americas. Its president and hopefully the vice president will be coming through to discuss this organization. As you and I know, New Kru Town is a borough in Monrovia, just outside of, put it that way, Monrovia. And its citizens who have come to America put themselves together to organize this organization with the hope that they can form camaraderie, bring their resources and talents together, and utilize that for the people back home, meaning in Liberia. So we'll be discussing. This organization has been uh, dealing with its leadership crisis. The two groups, we want to know who is A and who is B tonight, so the conversation will be intriguing. We'll also discuss trending news. Liberia, as I said, is never shy of anything. So let me bring in Moses Sandy all the way from the other side out there in Delaware. Moses, welcome to the Issues Room, our 62nd edition. Again, last Tuesday, we got back after months
Yeah,
of hiatus, but it's good to be back here again with you, my brother. Nothing uh, um, is short of discussion. So tonight, good conversation here. Welcome.
absolutely. Great conversation. And let me say hi to our many listeners and viewers globally. It's pleasing to be back in the issues room. This time we come energized to present the news, do the analysis, and call it a speed, a speed. Call a speed, a speed. It's pleasing to be back again, Volcano.
Yeah, so much has happened over the last few days, but one important thing, and this segment is our trending news coming out of Liberia. There's something going on currently. We know that Mr. Alexander B. Cummings was going through a legal, I won't call it battle per se, but a legal process because he was accused of tampering with CPP document, the document that held them together as a what I'll consider a collaboration or a conglomeration of political parties with the intent to go to the national elections come next year. And of course, the water got muddied when what's his name, Ben and Ayure started out with the noise making that the document was tampered with, and so they have gone through court for over a period of months. And Moses, what did the Supreme Court say today?
Well, Alexander Cummings, according to the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, Serena Cephas, Alexander Cummings is now a free man. Uh, Let me start off with the Supreme Court ruling. Like the writer indicated, in recent times, the CPP has been engulfed in the legal battle, and Alexander Cummings was the key defendant because the alleged alteration in the framework document reportedly occurred when he chaired the CPP. Mr. Urey raised the alarm. There was allegation that Mr. Cummings and other forged signatures and they made alteration. Particular reference was made to a clause in the framework document, which then prohibited anyone from leaving the collaboration. And if you did, you would not be allowed to participate in any political process in Liberia, even in your own name or in the name of your political party. So, Mr. Ure and others are concerned about that. They say, hey, we didn't sign that. The document we signed on May 19th did not reflect that. So, Mr. Cummings, you and your chair of your party and others reportedly instructed that particular clause in the document to hold people, even if there was disagreement you must remain in the collaboration. So not satisfied with that, Mr. Yu went to court, and Mr. Cummings' credibility was on the line. He even contacted um, the wife of Tony Blair, as part of his defense team. So today, the Supreme Court ruled that hey, the clause which frown on anyone leaving the collaboration, or which prohibited any individual or political party in the collaboration leaving and going ahead or forging a political process, participating in a political process. That clause was struck down today. The Supreme Court said, hey, the right to participate, the right to associate, the right to disassociate, these are constitutional rights. And on that basis, the Supreme Court struck down clause number 8 in the CPP document. So that means now that United Party, which broke away from the collaboration, Liberal Party, the faction headed by Yombli Kanga, that also broke away from the collaboration, the ALP, all of these parties are now free parties. They can go and do whatever they choose to do. And there was this concern. In fact, the situation now in Lofa County, United Party candidate, the NEC refused to to qualify the candidate because of the clause in the CPP document. So with that, action taken by the Supreme Court today announced paved the way for the UP to 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 put forth a candidate in Lofa County. I
Let me
think
hold
that's
you
a
there quickly.
victory.
Let me hold you there quickly. Our
Yes,
Supreme Court has passed judgment over time
yes.
since the inception of this government,
Hmm.
and yet this government has not honored some of those, uh, what I would call, verdicts.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you think that there's a possibility this verdict will be honored, considering the
Well,
National Elections Commission already, had put a hand
yeah.
in hot water
Is it? Yeah.
when they should have stayed neutral? You
They
understand
should
what I'm
have
saying?
stayed neutral in the whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So do you really think that this judgment gonna pass?
As someone who respect the rule of law, and the Supreme Court is the foremost legal entity in Liberia. When the Supreme Court speaks, nobody reverses that. So my assumption will be that our political leaders, including the individuals at the National Elections Commission, will adhere to the ruling of the Supreme Court. If the NEC refuses to adhere to the ruling from the Supreme Court, then of course that would be bringing Liberia's criminal justice system, into question again. And I don't think Mr. Weir or other members of the CDC administration will want to see that happening. That would send a real bad message to the international community. So let's assume that this time around, rule of law will prevail in Liberia. So with
Thank you,
that
Moses. I
assumption,
think
we can
yeah.
say
Okay.
Unity Party now has to go ahead. And then there was also another victory today. Liberal Party, Liberal Party divided along two groups. Uh, Yombli has one group, Musa Ability has another one. There was this confusion between the two groups about someone tampering with the constitution. Today, the Supreme Court was also able to, finalize that. Uh, in 2021, when Liberal Party met in Banga, they made some amendment in the constitution. And then later, when the guys came to Monrovia, the expectation was that the changes would have been made in the constitution. But again, Senator Kanga and her supporters claim that those changes were made without reference to her leadership. And the changes that were made, they question some of those changes that were made. So today the Supreme Court ruled that hey, whatever that came from Banga, the Banga Convention, should be inserted, and that was inserted into the Constitution. So now it means that they have reverted to 2021, the, the 2021 convention, whatever action that was taken there, those actions now stand. So it means that Yombli, DeLon, and the others, they have prevailed over Musa Belete. Musa Belete got what? Two defeats.
Okay.
It is Belete that filed the claim against Unity Party, not the Fidel Kennedy.
So then what
And he,
happens here quickly, just under 1 minute? What
yeah,
happens here that the Supreme Court has passed this ruling,
yeah,
then Billade has his faction of the Liberty Party,
mhm.
and Delon and
Yombli
Yumli Conga
on the
Lawrence
other side,
have
yeah,
with the 2021
Constitution.
insertion of those clauses
Mhm.
now bring Billade back to the party or hold him accountable, or can he just decide that I'm going to stay independent?
Well, with that, with the action taken today, I would assume that there's another way of paving. The way I mean is another means of paving the way for reconciliation in the party, and we hope that they will be able to reconcile and have one united party.
Thank you, Moses. If you
Sure.
just joining us, welcome to the 62nd edition of the Issues Room. Volcano Shelton here from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Moses Sandy, my colleague, is all the way in Newcastle, Delaware. We coming your way on our 62nd edition this evening. I told you we are featuring NEKTAA. That's the new Kru Town Association in the Americas here to discuss some of the pertinent issues that the organization faces. And tonight we have the president and vice president, Mr. Emmanuel Wiegba, and Mrs. Comfort Mike Thomas. We'll be bringing them momentarily. Just quickly want to acknowledge some of our followers and our fans who are always there with us. Thomas Awaji, good evening. Welcome to the Issues Room. Dawkins Riches, Stoga, Dawkins Riches, thanks for joining us. We wholeheartedly welcome you. William McDavis, Sid Wilson, we say thank you. Please share the word, invite a friend. Let's get bigger here tonight. In the meantime, let's go back to the back of our studio and bring in Mr. Emmanuel Wigba, president of NEKTAA, and let's also bring in. I can barely see you, Comfort. I don't know. Probably okay.
Can she
You,
yeah adjust the camera a little bit?
the lighting comfort is horrible. It's just like your dark image in the back. So could you just remedy that? Put some lights around you, and I'll bring you back if you can hear me. Emmanuel, good evening. Welcome to the Issues Room. This is not a new territory. I believe you were here before. If I'm right,
Yes, he
we will
was.
last feature you guys. We're gonna start from where we left off, okay? And I remembered we had a conversation around where things. Let me see if I can bring comfort back. And I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's still
We
kind of yeah.
yeah, but we can. Yeah, she looks
Okay,
good
right
now.
there.
Okay,
That's
good.
beautiful.
It's okay.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
So, comfort. Can you unmute? I don't know. Your internet is kind of pausing a little bit here and there. So I'm hoping that your location is feasible enough for us to be able to do this. Um, can you hear me? Because you keep blinking in and out. But while you try to get adjusted, let me just turn to Mr. Weirwa and welcome him to the issues room. Good evening.
Is
Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Shelton. Good evening, Mr. Sandy.
good evening, Mr.
Happy
President.
to be here.
Great, great. Uh, all right. So let's see if Comfort is in good shape right now. Comfort, unmute your mic.
Unmute your microphone.
She's frozen again. All right.
Unmute your microphone, Comfort. Your microphone is muted.
She's frozen. We'll come back to her.
Okay.
So as I was saying, Mr. Wilbur, we left off where the organization was in what I would consider a divide. Uh, what is it now? Have you guys been able to resolve the issue? Do we have one leadership right now, or do we still have NEKTAA A and NEKTAA B? And who is then whose group is the real NEKTAA?
Thank you.
Where's who?
Thank you, Mr. Shelton. Thank you, Moses, again.
Yeah.
The last time we discussed, a lot has occurred. And just to catch up, at that point in February or so, the Liberian ambassador to the United States, His Excellency George Patton.
Let me just hold you there. There is a light that's shining right above over you. I'm not sure that light is giving a lot of glare, and then it's reflecting on your head, but it's behind you. The light is behind you. If probably,
Can I cut it off a bit?
yeah, probably. There's that light is
got too
just
much
right
light.
over your head, or maybe it's a part of your lighting. So if you
Yeah, I think
were
it's part
to,
of his lighting.
so I'll
Yeah.
bring him back. So yes, Moses. Sometimes to get
Yeah.
our guests
Mhm.
to wear the shoe, have good lighting and all of that. Some people,
Yeah.
it's
So
kind of
so
difficult. So let
so
me
what?
let me bring him back and see.
Yeah.
Now he's
Okay.
he's extremely
Oh,
dark.
okay. But I think you should just keep the light as it is. Yeah.
It just need to move away from the light. Keep the lighting on and just move away from it.
Okay. But but while he does that, um let's talk NEKTAA Association a little bit before he
All right.
comes in.
So let me
Uh
let you take the lead.
yeah, NEKTAA was organized a couple of years ago, like the writer indicated, primarily to consolidate the peace and unity among its members in the Americas. NEKTAA brings together uh, citizens and former residents of the borough of New Kru Town in Liberia, West Africa. The organization was very vibrant until in recent times, uh, NEKTAA, like any other Liberian organization, started experiencing leadership crisis. A leadership crisis erupted between the former president Thomas Wooler and the chair of the board of directors. That problem persisted until Mr. Wooler's tenure expired. Then Mr. Emmanuel Wilbur was elected as president of one of the factions. The organization divided, um, and up to now, the problem continues. So we have invited these officials from NEKTAA to come and talk to us about the organization, to talk about what has been done to consolidate the peace and unity that once existed in NEKTAA. NEKTAA over the years worked very hard in bringing what happened to me, man?
You live on the air, Moses. You were in solo, so I allowed you. Now,
Okay. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah. So continue.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
talking.
So as I was saying, NEKTAA, like any other Liberian organization, started having problems with leadership, and now today we have a divided NEKTAA. Before they started having problems, NEKTAA was undertaking projects in Nukuta. They initiated a library project. They were also reaching out to individuals who are doing businesses in Nukutan. They were giving out loans. I mean, actually helping the people. These people met on an annual basis for conventions. They discussed the future of the organization. They formulated plans, for improvement of lives in Nukutan. But
Okay, so let's
today,
let's
as
let's
we
bring the
speak,
president so
NEKTAA
he
is
can
in
expand
crisis.
further.
Yes. So
Okay.
let's hear from Mr. Wiegba and Mickey. Mr.
Emmanuel, you're
President, go
live.
ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead, Mr. President.
Yeah, so Moses did well to lay the foundation of some of the issues also. So in February, His Excellency George Pantin, the Liberian ambassador to the United States, who happens to be a son of the borough, undertook a peace mission to try to resolve the confusion between the two forces. So a day or two prior to a joint meeting with the contending parties, the other group pulled out of the talks on a pretext that Emmanuel Wiba appeared on a talk show, which was their show at the time, and said all other things also. But the ambassador really did not buy the story because number one, I told him that they were equally invited on our show and they declined. And two, I made it clear to him that there was nothing derogatory that was said on the show. It was just going over NEKTAA issues or so. So he saw that there was no issue as the time. And then, so the talks did not take place, and the ambassador got discouraged and pulled out of the whole thing. A month or two after, the folks, they themselves plunged their group into another problem. The president at the time, who was Monica To, and Blawati Kofa, who was their vice president, resigned. So then they had how they call it, void. And the secretary at the time, who is Wiale Kofa Pin, was the one who became their president. So as we speak today, they don't have a vice president, they don't have a secretary. And that's the situation. But we did not give up the peace process. Just a month or two ago.
Just before you expand on that, let me bring Comfort in. But Comfort, you will have to reposition your gadget by rotating because you're sideways. I don't know if you okay. There you go. So great. The lighting is now better. Welcome to the issues room, Madam Vice President. We'll just continue from where the president took off, and we'll come back to you. But just wanted you to be a part of the conversation.
Her
So
microphone
you
is
need
still
to you need
mute.
to unmute your mic at this point, but you don't have to now. But just remember, when the conversation begins, you will unmute your mic. So let's go back to the president. So a month ago, what happened, Mr.
Yeah, so
President?
a month ago, I mean, we know that the search for peace is very tough and intense. So we did not give up. We organized a group of prominent individuals from the borough and other areas also, constituted them under the leadership of Emmanuel Weti, the former president of Yola, to intervene in a crisis again, once again. And we turned them the Peace Council. So the Weti Peace Council reached out to both parties. They reached out to us and to the other group. They served us survey questionnaires, at least to be able to get idea as to where we stand on different positions also. So we went through that questionnaires as we speak. About 3 weeks ago, we responded to the Peace Council questionnaires. We sent it back, and the other group have not responded to those requests as we speak. So I mean, it says a lot as to where the other groups stand when it comes to unifying the association. But for us, we desire peace and we do everything to pursue peace because that's the right way to help our people.
Just before Moses coming, I just wanted to throw this quickly. So what happens if you guys don't reconcile and your tenure ends? Then what happens to NEKTAA? Because here we hear two organizations.
So there are a couple of things that we have to get involved with, which we do not want to, but that will be the last recourse, and that will be a court action. Because as we speak, the organization money was taken by the guys also. So I mean, If all else failed, at the end of the day, we have to pursue the legal path to resolve the issue, because two groups cannot use one EIN and one organization name. It's not possible. So, of course, then the court will have to decide if that's the last resort.
Was this
Yeah. So let me let me let me let me come and throw this to the vice president. Madam Vice President, welcome to the issues room.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Uh,
having us.
Good. It's a pleasure to have you, Miggy. Look, help us understand right now with a rift in your organization. You have a divided organization in terms of following. Which of the two groups really pull support from uh, the people of NEKTAA? Do you have a greater support from the people of NEKTAA, or is it the other group that is ready? You know, uh, 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 um, is the other group with more followers? That's my question. Which are you guys ready pull in the numbers?
Well, thanks for the question. First of all, um, I will come back to say it's not actually the number that matters to us.
Okay.
It's the dedication, the commitment, and the heart for people that you care about. So you can be 100 somewhere and you can have 10% on the other side. It depends on what the 100 doing and what the 10 is putting out.
Yeah.
So for the borough or Newtown, the people in the borough, we have their support already. We have talked to the governor, we have talked to a lot of people in the borough, and we have their support. They're trying to help us from the other side. When it comes to, yeah, from what I see, we have a lot of people that are on our side. Again, like I said, it's not so much of the number that we're talking about. We're talking about what you can do for people that you care about. So if we're 100 and not doing nothing, what is the point?
Okay.
If you 10 and still doing the same thing the 100% is supposed to do, that's what counts. So actually, I'm not too familiar with the other side, but what I know, what I see in the chat room, we still have support of a lot of our members.
Okay.
Mr. President? A quick question here. How long has this rift been going on? If you can put a timeline.
Almost 2 years now, Volcano. Yes, almost 2 years we've been through this, and it's very disheartening and disappointing to a lot of former residents of the borough and well wishers also that the organization, just as Moses described from the very beginning of the show, a very viable and vibrant organization that was impacting the borough and to regress to this level is disappointing. And this is why we are doing everything possible to pursue the path of peace.
Okay. So, from the people of NEKTAA, has anyone made any attempt besides uh, the Ambassador Pathin, and the former president of ULA, Emmanuel Weti, uh, the local officials in NEKTAA and other political leaders? Has any of them reached out to you guys to say, "Hey, you need to resolve this thing. That is stalling progress in our community"? Any attempt to resolve this problem?
Yeah, the borough administration, the local government has been very involved with this issue.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the committee Emmanuel Weti is heading comprise about 20 to 22 persons. And on that committee, we have the vice governor of the borough, he's a member. The chairman of the 8th nominating district in Liberia, that's the council, the borough council. The chairman is a member. The former representative of the borough, Honorable Edward Ford, is a member of that body as well. So this council is a cross section of prominent citizens from both the diaspora and from back home. So yes, indeed, to answer your question, the local government administration is highly involved with the talks and through by representation of the vice governor, who happen to be the principal deputy of the governor. Yes, they are.
Okay.
Let me come to Madam Vice President. Please unmute quickly. Um, so let me understand something here. Madam Vice President, please unmute. Great. Um, here you go. You're female. You're vice president, and I'm sure there are a lot of females in the organization, and women will want to come together to hold the men accountable. Uh, how divided are the women? I'm just asking because I'm curious here. You guys are the bedrocks of the organization. Has there been any point where your women within your part of NEKTAA and the other women have sought to come together to hold these men who don't want to listen for to the fire?
Thank you, Volcano. Yes, yes. Thank you for that question. Yes, we tried though. We tried a lot on several different, occasion we tried, and it did not work when it had its first two groups separated with Freeman Flomo being their acting president. But then when we had, I think they had an election, whatever happened, they had Monica there, being she was a lady. So we reached out to, basically she reached out to me, I reached out to her, and we talked about it. We discussed coming together and being able to just work on this breakaway thing, because it's very embarrassing to us coming from the same place and we can't even get along. So she and myself discussed it. We started getting other people involved. I'm not sure what happened. Again, it was all the ladies trying to talk about peace. I don't know what happened. Out of nowhere, she just stopped talking. She just stopped talking to me, and what I heard, she resigned because they couldn't work on her with the peace process. So, yeah, we tried on several occasions.
Wow.
Okay, so the peace process, and I want both of you to really weigh in on this. What are the stumbling blocks? What are the impediments to the attainment of peace in your organization?
And Moses, let me just add
Yes,
to
yeah,
impediments and the things that holding you back. But what are
yeah,
the burning issues on the table to discuss first that will
yes.
unify the organization and where both parties are now agreeing on?
Agree on, yeah. What are they?
So, unfortunately, I wish I knew what were they, because we have never come to the peace table to talk. There was one attempt, it
Mhm.
didn't work out, and we're looking forward to another one. But just before then, what we proposed was that, number one, in terms of leadership, we said that since Thomas Woodard was the president of the association prior to this conclusion, also, we appoint the how they call it, we will appoint the president of the association.
Okay.
Then you, the other side, you will appoint the board, the chairman of the board of directors. So then the rest of the positions, we will come down the line and share the positions evenly. So those were our proposal for peace. And
Okay.
more to that, we underscored the issue of accountability, because in Liberian association, so is one of the things that we tend to go along with the idea that let bygone be bygone, let's forget about everything that happened, and negating the fact of accountability, especially when it comes to financial matters or so. So we indicated that in as much we are willing to settle down for peace, the idea of money will not be compromised. And though money has to do with funds, a few of the guys took from West Fargo and Morovia. In Morovia, we're running a microfinance program, and that money was being kept in EcoBank account. And they went took money from EcoBank account. So we made it clear that those two monies would not be compromised. There will have to be accountability. So we're clear on the way forward, and we think that it was reasonable. But the folks are yet to come forward to propose a counter proposal to whatever we presented to the Peace Council.
So my
Okay.
concern here has to do with the General Assembly. So are we seeing that your propositions put forth nullify the power of the General Assembly? because the General Assembly is the body that brings leadership, right, through
Yeah.
votes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
from what we're hearing here, this is more like the Liberian peace talk that we used to
Power,
hold in Akosombo and
power sharing. Yeah.
what do you call it, Accra, and all of
Yeah.
these peace talk, and only the Liberian people are just sitting by the radio to hope for their destiny. So this is what happening to NEKTAA and its general body.
Right. Right. Let me come in. Yes. Yes. That's exactly what we wanted. That's exactly what we're looking forward to, because we feel if we do that, it gives everybody means to work together, to bring to get into one, to be unified first.
Yeah,
Then we can try to work towards forming another, like voting stuff or going to election. Because
Okay.
if you have a president and a board of director chair, they still have basically, if you look at it, they still have the same power. So we're giving you one, we're taking one, and then we share the other one. It's just for the same peace process, like that. That's exactly what we're working towards. Akusumo talk, so we can find a one common ground where at the end of the day we can all work along to find, to get the only thing like we are working towards and making sure we have one NEKTAA. That's
Okay.
all. Like, we don't care how you want it, but you just let's do this together. And up to now we're still waiting. We're still
so I
waiting
know
for
that
that.
this, and Moses, you're coming quick. I know
Yeah.
that
Go
this
ahead.
is impacting fundraising. I know that this is impacting membership dues. I know all of this. So what's the sustainability for NEKTAA on both sides? But let's start with your side.
Yeah.
Since you're the side
How
that we're looking at here tonight.
how are you sustaining the
So,
organization with all this crisis?
that's a good question. Despite the crisis, also,
Mm-hmm.
one of our key projects, which is the Library and Resource Center in the borough, is still functional, and we got to keep it open. So that's really has been a burden on all of us. But we, with the general hearts of a few of us also, we have been able to improvise from our own personal funds to make sure that we cater to the library, the resource center. So in terms of, and those people there, we actually give them stipend, we provide electricity and a couple of other functions also, computers and all of that. So as we speak, a lot of the things have been financed through our personal funds also, because it is just as you said, it makes the whole situation makes fundraising very difficult. It's so discouraging. People don't want to give because the association is divided. So in the absence of how they call it, goodwill from the general public also, we squeeze in our pockets to make sure that we keep the project's running for now.
Okay. So, Mr. Mr. President, I heard you lay a lot of emphasis on the accountability, and you talk about money being taken from your account in Liberia, or your accounts, one in Liberia, another one in the United States. How much are we talking about here? And who are those that really led that campaign?
Okay. So for the money year,
Yeah.
at the time doing when the organization was one, the financial secretary was one Nathaniel Kuhn,
Okay.
and the board chair at the time was Ms. Doyen Kofa.
Okay.
According to our constitution, the president,
Mm-hmm.
the treasurer, the board chair, and the financial secretary are all signatory to the accounts.
Okay.
And the principal signatory, or as we say in short, category A signatories are the president and the treasurer. In the absence of both of them, either or the financial secretary or the board chair can act. So in the absence of arrangement, what happened to come to that point was that during the how they call it, the apex of COVID-19, the organization decided to carry on a relief project in Liberia. So we put into place a fundraising program where members and well-wishers could voluntarily give to the association to do a project back home, relief project. So in that space also, the organization was able to raise $3,100. So in June of 2020, the president instructed the treasurer, who was me at the time, to pay the 3,100 to the folks in Liberia to buy food supplies for Redemption Hospital.
Okay.
So that money was disbursed to the folks in Liberia. A day after, that's when Nathaniel Kuhn and Ms. Doyen Kofa went and illegally ejected the amount of $8,744 from the association's account.
Okay.
And the pretext was that they were taking the money for safekeeping. So as we speak, that's the history of that amount we are talking about in America today. So Doyen Kofa and Nathaniel Kuhn were the one that illegally took the money from the association's account in Liberia. Now we go to the funds in Echo Bank Liberia. The funds in Echo Bank Liberia was principally for the microfinance project. How do you call it? To quickly go back, we launched the microfinance project with the amount of 5,000 United States dollar. And from the beginning of this project also, there was a lot of skepticism that folks wouldn't pay the money back also. And trust me, Moses and Volcano, to our utmost surprise, those folks, even during the COVID time also, they were able to pay that money back. So we had a collection history of almost 100% of that money. So that money was deposited into Echo Bank. The principal account holders of that amount was NEKTAA Liberia. We were not part because we got a subsidiary in Liberia called NEKTAA Liberia. They run the affairs of the association in Liberia. So no official of NEKTAA USA is on our account. But strangely speaking, those guys' names were taken off the account, and Doyen Kofa and Nathaniel Kuhn withdrew that money.
From Monrovia?
Monrovia. And that money was expatriated to the United States to an unknown account at TD Bank or so, or BBT Bank or so. So because of that, we how they call it, the group in Liberia wrote Echo Bank to protest the manner in which the money was taken, because they were not aware of any authority demanding that withdrawal. So Echo Bank, the response from Echo Bank was flimsy. So NEKTAA Liberia took Echo Bank to court. So as we speak, NEKTAA Liberia and Echo Bank are in court for that money.
What's the amount here we're talking about?
The money in Liberia was $4,500.
And these guys took that money out of the account.
Yeah, they took that money and brought it to the United States, and it's in a possession of the folks we're talking about.
All right, so
let
me just
talking about is almost like almost $13,000 to $14,000 we're talking about.
That's what they have in their possession right now for the organization?
Yeah.
Allegedly?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me just come to William McDavis here. Do you know the name William McDavis? Because William McDavis is saying here, Mr. Volcano, point of correction, we didn't leave the organization. They were the ones that left after the impeachment of the former president. Since their departure, we at the other end, I have been doing business as usual. One, we had a successful Christmas party for the children last year as usual. Two, we just had a memorial service program for the victims and family, and also the family members were given some financial assistance. And three, on June 11th this year, we're having an annual fundraising dinner. Are you aware of this? Of this?
Yes. So let me give you a history. I've been with
Yeah.
NEKTAA since 2007. From 2007 up to the conflict also, there has never been a William McDavid in NEKTAA as a member. Yes. So when when the conflict ensued, that's when William McDavid came to NEKTAA, the other group, and they call, I think they say he's one of their board members. He's one of their board members. So William McDavid, all the things we're talking also, he really do not know about the issues also. He just got on board. Whether he even paid, because NEKTAA, let me be quick to state, NEKTAA is a due paying how they call it, association. In as much everybody from the borough of Kru Town can be a member of NEKTAA, not everybody from the borough is a member of NEKTAA. You have to register with $100 as registration fees and then pay your dues to be a member. So I don't know whether Mr. Davis even paid $100 to register or so. So not to too much. From 2007.
Or maybe the man paid to the other organization, to the other branch.
Well, it's something that we need to check out. But up to the confusion, there has never been William McDavid in NEKTAA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's something else. David Bestman says history and our people of the borough will not forgive those of you stalling the peace process. Now, David was not specific, but he's referencing that. I just thought to read that. So, you know, what we're understanding here is that this seemed to be a difficult battle. And my concern, honestly, is that Mr. Emmanuel Wigba may not be able to resolve this matter in his tenure. And you're saying that the last resort would be to go to court. How long do you have, considering the legal process and the fight to resolve something, or will you, your leadership will be extended? Because we've seen where if there's a situation that we can't go to elections, maybe you hold on another year or so as you fight this legal battle. Is that something you're contemplating in this branch of NEKTAA, to sue the other branch of NEKTAA or the leadership of the previous NEKTAA?
So, Volcano, that's what I said from the very beginning. That would be the last resort. Okay. A lot of folks have even urged us to pursue that path, but we have said no. Because
why not?
Well, time is running out. That's what I'm asking you the question.
We are aware time is running out also, but the thing is, it is not about us. It's about our people who we claim to serve also.
Okay.
That's why we are not giving up. Despite the failure of the first peace initiative also, we were at the center of creating the present peace council that we have now.
Okay.
Yeah, we put them together because we have not given up. We still feel that there's prospect for peace. And that's why we have the group of individuals to see if they can try to bridge the gap between the two factions also. And let me state, it is not about Emmanuel Wigba becoming anything also. Anybody can take the leadership of the association. What we are interested in is peace and unity for the association. Because at the end of the day, prosperity will judge us negatively because of what we fail to do.
Okay.
So we have not given up. The time also, we not bother about time. Our time can expire. If other people can pick up the torch to pursue it also, we like that. So actually, in as much we got the tools to go to court also, it's something that we hate to do. But again, if this peace council come to us at the end of the day and say that there's no way they can bridge the gap for peace also, then it will be the course we pursue at that time.
Thank you. Okay. We are at the intermission. This is the issues room. our 62nd edition here tonight. We're discussing the new Kru Town Association here in the Americas. Its internal crisis, leadership crisis, where there's a divide. There are two groups, the A and B, as I, metaphorically put it. We don't know which side the most powerful side, but one of the sides being represented here tonight by the president, Mr. Emmanuel Wilba, and the vice president, come for Mickey
Soin.
Swan, and we had Thomas. So I don't know where Thomas came from, but that can be corrected later on. Moses, these are the kinds of situations we're faced with in many of the Liberian organizations.
Yeah.
A few group of people always, want to take the organization and throw it in the drain, while others are working behind the scene to keep the organization afloat. And oftentimes, I think Comfort did mention that it's not the number, but it's the intent, the small size who will continue to work hard. Um, the issues room is here to have these kinds of conversations. So we want to put this as an open invitation to the other side to reach out to us so that we can hear your side of the story. The last time we had this side, and there were accusations, according to Mr. President, that he came on a talk show. So we invite you, the other side, listening tonight. William McDavis, if you are truly a part of the other side, galvanize your leadership, reach out to us here in the issues room so we can have a balanced conversation rather than hear one side of the story. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We want to also welcome those who are watching and who are not commenting tonight. We say thanks for being there with us. The Issues Room is the alternative media platform where we discuss the things that matter, pertinent, particularly to Liberia, the African continent, and the Black diaspora. Moses.
Yeah, and Mr. President, let me come to you. You were elected for 2 years, right?
Yeah,
So your tenure, when does it expire?
expire August 2023.
Okay, so it means that you have a little over a year for your tenure to come to an end, and yet you still have this significant glitch in the organization. Now, if you guys cannot achieve peace amicably, what will your leadership do?
Okay, Moses, that's the challenge. That's the challenge we have to contend with. And that's why we're giving it our all to make sure that we bridge the gap for peace. We extend our hand of peace because we feel that peace is still possible.
Okay.
The folks on the other side and us, we are not enemies. We meet at function, we meet at occasion, we shake hands, and we talk.
Okay.
So despite of all else that is happening, we still relate to each other. I think what is in a way is the ego.
Okay.
Yeah, the ego to let it go. That's the gap. That's the bridge in between us. And we are hopeful. We are very hopeful that we can still bridge the gap with the caliber of people who constitute the peace council. Also, we have every hope that at the end of the day we have a peaceful resolution of this issue.
Let me ask Madam
Let
Vice
me tell-
President quick here.
Yeah.
Do you think that this monies or the monies that were used could be the reason why these guys don't want, because they want to stall the process and not be held accountable? And so, we're not going to pay that money. We're not even joining them. We use the money, so be it. We use it for project and stuff like that. Could you think? I mean, rather, do you think that that could be an underlying factor too? That stalling all of this?
It could be part of it, but
And let me quickly
it
add.
could be part of it.
Let me quickly add, the people who use the money, are this part of the other NEKTAA?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
the part of the other NEKTAA. It could be part of it, and I think a lot of personal greed and hate Because what I'm seeing, like Emmanuel was saying, the president was saying, we all are family. I saw the chat the person put in there about going for legal aspect, and that's why we keep holding back, because it's easier to do. It's easier to just go to court and carry the matter there, but we keep holding back because NEKTAA is like a family organization. We all grew up in the borough. We know each other. We have family. We went to the same school. We have the same function. Why would this thing that can be addressed be put in front of other people to address it for us? That's why we keep coming back for peace. We keep calling people. We keep inviting other people into the matter. But what I'm thinking, because they use the money and they have no accountability for it, because everything they're talking about Christmas program is from the money they took from us, from our NEKTAA account. It's not their personal money. Like everything we're doing is our personal money we're using to help people back home. It's things that we put together and other donors are helping us. Like Mr. Sandy, he always help us out. So we're just saying, if it's the money issue, yes, it's one of it. But the second main reason is a lot of selfishness, personal greed, hate for one another. It's just few people in our bracket, maybe two, and those two or three, they are attached to each other because they are family. So I can be your brother, and it's in a labyrinth culture. I can be your brother and turn against you because you're doing the wrong thing. I have to support you because we are blood. And that's what it's all about. It's not so much of the money, it's just hate and greed. Power.
Do you have a bank account with this other branch right now? Because I'm hearing a lot of personal money is being used to finance projects
other
and organization.
the other faction. That's what
Yeah,
you
meaning
see.
no, their
Your
faction, their current
Yeah,
faction.
yeah, your faction. Do
Yeah.
you have a bank
Yeah.
account?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
have the
well,
account, we have our secretary, we have we have accountability of every penny that is used out of that account. Because we still support the NEKTAA Liberia
Yeah.
with their stipends and stuff. So yes, we do.
And
Okay.
and your members within your branch are paying the dues.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So,
so so, so Moses, just before you come
yeah.
in,
Mhm.
how much people do you have now in this NEKTAA? Let's give a ballpark figure, members and officials.
Maybe I would ask them, maybe I'm not sure of the number yet, but Mr. President, you have any idea?
yeah, the number will be a little over 50 or so. But besides the 50, there are other people who are not registered members also who give occasionally to the association.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mr. President, again, let me come back to you. Earlier, I heard you say that the problem you guys have is actually driven by ego. So, of the two groups, which of these groups is ready and refusing to compromise because of ego?
They are the one, Mr. Sandy. They are the one because just to backtrack,
Mm-hmm.
the peace initiative at the time undertaken by Ambassador Panton,
Yeah.
that process took almost 3 to 4 months or so back and forth, trying to get us to a center point or center issues that we could discuss also. And then the 23rd hour, a day before the conference, they pull out for no justifiable reason. Again, here we are into another process. They were sent questionnaires, survey questionnaires to see where they stand on key issues again. As we speak, they are yet to respond to that piece survey. But yet still, they organizing what they call, they say, dinner ball in Philadelphia for next weekend. I mean, it is sad, It's sad to negate a peace process, something that will unify the association, and you exclusively choose to have a program, and then you give it a name, NEKTAA. I mean, let me use this show to tell people that that program is being here. It's not for NEKTAA. It's for individuals. Because even with the announcement they're making, they are not attaching names to them to the program. They just say NEKTAA to And we have received a lot of calls from people. Is NEKTAA having program? We tell them no. We have also issued release to that effect to disclaim that we are not part of the program, that the program is not held by NEKTAA, it's held by individuals who want to do their own thing instead of working towards peace. So that's where we are. That's where we are. It's very pathetic.
But now, Mr. President, don't forget that earlier when we came on, you acknowledged that you have two leaderships, right?
Yeah.
In NEKTAA.
Yeah.
So for the fact that you are not hosting an event, then that does not in any way give you the right to say that the other group that claims to be NEKTAA is also not NEKTAA.
So,
right? Do you agree on that?
I know that is contentious, but still, it's important for us to, because there are other people out there. Not everybody know about this confusion in the association.
Okay.
Not everybody know. So some people, they call us. They call us when they saw the flyers, they heard the announcement, all of that. They call us.
Okay.
And we gotta be straight to the point to explain to them that this association is not NEKTAA.
Okay.
Yeah, because NEKTAA, Thomas Wooler was the president for NEKTAA. He was
can never be too.
I took over from him. If they broke away from the association, it does not make them NEKTAA. In as much we call them of faction, they are not NEKTAA. They broke away.
So now we have two contentions here. You are saying that you are the legitimate NEKTAA.
Yes.
And the others are saying that you are illegitimate because they claim that you broke away. How do you reconcile that?
What's this? Just before we go there, we have a caller here, and Mr. William McDavis is calling all the way from Maryland.
Okay.
Mr. McDavis, are you there?
Yes, sir. Hey, Volcano, how you doing? Welcome back.
Welcome to the issues room here.
Yeah.
And great that you're following the conversation. It sounds like you're from the other side.
Yes, sir.
And again, we extend invitation to your side to come here and give your side of the story. But in the meantime, what is your role right now with the other side?
Okay. Well, this is what I call, because I, in fact, never intended to make a call, because what is going on, we are all one family from the same borough. But since my name was mentioned, and Mr. Weber said, well, he don't know who did Mr. McDavis was and when he joined NEKTAA. So this is why I called in, that to show that I'm a son, born and raised in New Kru Town. Okay? Even though I was not actively involved in the activity of the organization.
When we're talking about prior? Yes,
prior.
Okay.
Yeah, prior. Okay. Even though I was not actively involved in the activity of the organization, but I financially supported every project that they were embarking on. Okay. Even the library project I talk about at the time, the lady who was collecting the money, one Miss Doris Due.
Let me just tell this caller to hold. The caller from a 29, I'll come back to you. Caller, I'll come back to you, please.
Not a problem.
I'll come back to you, caller.
Go ahead, sir.
William, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Okay. Even the lady at the time who was collecting the money by the name of Doris Due, I contributed $100 towards the library to show that, because I was a son, not because I was not, say, participating in the conferences that they were having, that no means that I didn't follow their activities. Okay. I really get involved in the organization, actively involved in the organization when the issue about Wula started, that when I get involved. And I was one of those who was trying to bring peace in the organization. And I spoke to Mr. Wula. We talked like 2 hours on the phone to resolve this issue, and it never went away. So fast forward, what Mr. Weber just said, is half of the truth. He didn't tell you the whole truth. So I'm not going to go into detail of that, because definitely we're going to come on the show. But number one, what he didn't tell you that truly, the ambassador got involved in the issue to resolve the issue. But they're the one that break away. He keep telling us that we break away. We never left. Wilbur was the one who was, Ngula was the one who was impeached. And they said because of the manner of which thing went. So they left. And then we stay. And the money issue that he's talking about, well, he didn't tell you that. They were trying to get the money from the Echo Bank in Liberia. But then the bank, because of the signatory that on the bank, they were not in the name. They trying to change it. They select their own board member to go get the money. And the bank notify us to say, look, there are certain people who want to get this money from the bank, so these are the situation. So my brother, we want peace, but let's do it the right way. We want peace. If we took the money illegally from the bank in Liberia and then talking about the money in America, give me a break. In America, you're going in somebody's account or some organization account that you don't have authorization to take money. That's an issue. So you should come out to tell the truth. And we are ready for peace, but they should start and saying things that are not true. And secondly, if he is a true son of New Kru Town, regardless of the confusion, what gave him the right for him to stop other people to come to the organization of what we want to do for the borough of New Kru Town? So thank you for giving me the time, Mr. Shelton. But I promise you, we'll give you a call. I got your number. I will talk to the president, and then we'll settle one or two members to come on a show.
To the other president. To the other president. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can come on the show. Okay.
All right.
Mr. Weber, you are invited next week Saturday. We'll be in Philly. You can come to the board. It's $25 and $50 to help our people. Okay.
Let me take the other caller, and then we'll come back to Madam Vice President and
thank you.
Caller, are you still there? The caller from a 2904 number. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, caller, your name?
Orlando Kramer.
Oh, Orlando, welcome, man. Let me take this caller to hold quick from Minnesota. The caller from a 4811 number, please hold. I'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Caller calling from Minnesota. All right, so. Mr. Kringa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, yeah, welcome. Your contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Shelton. I just want to throw 2 points here that will be relevant to the discussion. The fact of the matter, I hear Mr. Weber talking about monies being taken away. Mr. Weber served as a treasurer for the association, and he deliberately wrote 5 checks to himself and 5 checks to the president, Thomas Wula at the time. That what led to Wula's impeachment. And we tend not to understand what real life is in America. We still try to think that we are still back home in Liberia. If somebody does something wrong, I think it is the rightful thing to follow the Constitution. We followed the Constitution, and Mr. Thomas Wula was being impeached. My second point I want to make here again, Mr. Shelton, the fact that our Constitution states that before any person is being elected into a position, they need to be at the convention. The vice president that is sitting on your show never went to the convention that they had. She was put in. Nancy Reeves was put in abstain. You see, so I mean, this is not. I just want to make one point where the impeachment process went on, and Mr. Emmanuel Weber refused to do a second audit because he said that this is sure we had done an audit first. But I mean, it's hard to understand where it's at.
So let me quickly ask you, Mr. Kringle, whose side are you on? Are you on the Weber side or are you on the other side?
No, I impeached Thomas Wula. I can't be with Weber.
Okay.
Thomas Wula was being impeached, Mr. Shelton.
Okay, so you're on the other side. So you will be at this program next week, Saturday.
Most definitely. And
Volcano, let me.
I spearheaded the Stampede Relief Committee back home in Kru Town just quite recently, and I can send you the video of that.
And that was one of the questions I was going to ask you tonight
Okay.
to this body, but unfortunately, you're not part of the panel tonight. So we'll wait to hear from your side as we've
Okay.
extended the invitation. And Emmanuel, or rather, Mike Davis said that he will do everything to get us to have your leadership come here
Officers.
and
Yeah.
also
Okay.
discuss from your perspective. And at that point, then Comfort and Emmanuel will be on the other side, and they will call in to rebut some of the things that you would be saying. So right now, there's a lot. We're gonna go to the bottom. Maybe we'll resolve this matter in the issues room. This is where we discuss the things that matter. So
Yeah.
thank you for your
We
time.
will surely do. We surely
That's
do.
not a problem.
Yeah, there's a
Not a
caller
problem.
waiting
Thank
for
you.
us in Minnesota. The caller in Minnesota 4811. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Your name?
My name is Philip.
Okay,
My name is-
Philip. Are you following the conversation? And you're from the borough?
Yes, I am. I am.
Good. What's your
Yes.
contribution?
Yes. Oh, I was just going to say that this crisis has been going on for a while, and I heard Mr. Mike Davis saying he's a true son of the borough, and we are all one family. But Mr. Weber's side of NEKTAA have been reaching out. We've reached out to Ambassador Patton and also Mr. Wetty, and I think the other side, it seemed like they've been stonewalling because if two persons have disagreement and you want to solve an issue, you have to come to the table. You can't just keep away and just give excuses or make frivolous statements and pretend like you want peace. If you want peace, you have to come to the table and talk about these differences, find a common ground, and move ahead. So I'll appeal to you because Weber has been doing well, reaching out with peace initiatives to get the other side to come.
Just hold. Let me just tell the caller calling from Washington D.C. We'll come to that caller quick. The caller from Washington D.C. 4748. Please hang on. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Continue, caller from Minnesota.
Yeah. So if you, Mr. Shelton and Mr. Sandy, if you can use their platform and try to encourage, I think this is the second time Mr. Weber has come to the program. Now he and Ms. Swan is on the program. The other side is yet to come. So it's clear that, this is saying one thing that the one piece Mr. Weber is putting out false information out there. I think it's important for them to come on your program. So that's all I wanted to add. If you could encourage them as well, so they can come and let.
We will try to get them in.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Let me try to go to the line to that other caller that's waiting out there for us. What a
Thank
minute.
you.
Okay. Apparently the caller left the line. Yeah. But Mr. President, Madam Vice President, I see you engaged in moving around, but when you settle, we'll come back to you. We've heard from two sides. Okay, this person still calls. Settle, we'll come back to you. The caller, please lower your monitor there quickly because I'm hearing myself. This person still calls.
Hello?
Yeah, could you lower your monitor, please?
Okay.
Yeah. Caller, please lower your monitor there quickly because I'm hearing myself. This person still calls.
Hello?
Yeah, could you lower your monitor, please?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, caller, please lower your monitor there.
Okay. Yes, this is Walia Kufaping, NEKTAA president.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Madam President, welcome.
NEKTAA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with the board.
Oh, you're on the board side. Okay. So yeah, and this is becoming interesting now, Moses. So
it's fortunate that we have.
So, Madam President, on the other side, I'm sure you've been following the conversation. We've extended an invitation to your side of NEKTAA. Will you honor that invitation?
First of all, thank you, Mr. Sheldon. Is that Sheldon?
Shelton, yeah, Shelton.
Oh, Shelton. Okay,
Just hold.
Shelton.
Let me put this caller in queue quick. The caller from the 4748. Please stay there. We'll come back to you. You were in queue, but you left. So
I didn't know.
We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. Madam President from the other
Go
side.
ahead, Madam President.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. I've been trying to log in at one point, and I'm happy I'm in now, and I would like to answer to any question, and I would like to address some of the issue that Mr. Weber and Ms. Felicia brought up front.
The unfortunate situation here, we'll be able to hold you on the line because we got callers calling. That's why we're extending the invitation. If you will be willing, we'll reach out to you. We'll coordinate.
We can set up a show.
The team can come here and rather kind of discuss with us some of your disagreement and agreement. Can we do that?
Yes, definitely. We will be willing to, and I look forward to that time. And I hope I'll be given another chance.
No. You can say one or two things just within a minute or two.
Before she leaves.
1 minute.
Go ahead.
I would just like to ask Mr. Wilbur. Yeah. What I'm saying is I would like to say this. They are claiming that we stole the money from the bank. It is all of us money. You have a administration, there's a structure, you have the board, you have the executive. That's the structure right there. If the president leaves and the vice president leave or whoever leave, they left the chain of command. But now they are claiming that we broke away. One. Number two, even if the banks in Liberia love us, the bank here too will love us to give us money. If we are not a proper owner of the money, if the money is for the community, it's not for individual. And they should stop telling people not to attend our functions because our function is going to support the community. It is very sad in talking about peace. They want peace and making it to seem that we don't want peace. But anyway, I will come on the show and it doesn't matter. We can come there together. I'm ready to address any question they have and for us to put it out there.
So when did you become president? Was it doing it simultaneously with Mr. Weber, or it was after the fashion was created?
Well, last year we had our conference.
And who's the we? Is it a one NEKTAA or the breakaway NEKTAA?
The NEKTAA with the board. The NEKTAA with the board.
So you're telling me Weber's NEKTAA doesn't have a board?
But if they have a board, I guess they have a board, but the structure, the organization structure is you have the board and you have the executive. So if who do you think broke away?
So Madam President, quick question. NEKTAA is a 501c non-profit organization, right? Are you there, Madam President?
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me just ask the question, Moses.
Did you hear my question? Okay.
So I'm hearing you, but I have problem logging in. I have my computer on. I have my phone.
Oh,
okay. No, I just want you to talk to me on the phone. You won't be able to log on because you do not have the link to the show.
Because you're hearing so many things. But anyway, what Moses' question was, who holds this 501c3 document?
Well, we all have access. We all have access to that document.
Oh, but you can't have two groups filing, in the name of the organization. Yeah, for taxes, how can the both of you file?
We filed taxes last year.
Joint tax, husband and wife. I mean, how are you doing it?
We'll answer all of those questions when we get on, but taxes are being filed.
Okay, so quickly, let me put it to Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber, did you file taxes for NEKTAA?
Yeah, we got a copy. I can send it to other of you to see it. We filed last year.
Okay.
We've been filing all
let me let her go. Let her go. Take the last caller, and then we'll come back to our panel. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So try to
Thank you,
coordinate
Madam
with Mr.
President.
Mike Davis, and we'll get with you. Okay, Madam
All
President.
right, thank you very much for the time.
All right.
Okay.
Let me go to this caller quick. The caller from the 4748 number, Washington D.C. Am I right? Caller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Your name?
This is J. William Walker II.
And you are from the borough? One of the sons?
In the borough, raised in the borough. Currently, vice chair of the NEKTAA that Wallapie is the president of, the legitimate NEKTAA.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. You've been following the conversation.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. What's your contribution?
I was the chairman. I was the secretary general of the board when Wayback came in. You know, this whole
So
thing
was Wayback constitutionally brought in by the convention, the assembly? Did the assembly vote this?
No, I think about some years back.
Okay.
Yeah, some years back. But let me just tell you this. The whole thing here boils down. You see, we criticize the system in Liberia of corruption, money. It is the same thing that got this split today. Money, lack of accountability, corruption, embezzlement. Okay?
And this is coming from which side? Because we're talking two people here now.
Yes. From the Wayback, from the Wula side.
Okay.
And when it came back, I was secretary general of the board. And we started work, we started to put together some policies to enhance accountability. And for me, I don't like, a lot of talking, but I've been listening, and someone sent me to say, maybe come and get some clarity and some background.
Okay.
So one man who is Wayback, he managed the association finances for more than 8 years. One man, lack of accountability. Even if you pay your dues, nothing was transparent. So going back and forth, I told them, I said, you know what, I can't continue with this kind of thing. I work half my money in America. I can't be giving it to one person, and there's no accountability. So unfortunately, and I would say honestly, there are some people on this other side of NEKTAA now who they were all collaborating. They were collaborating with who? I said this thing will not last, it will break down. When I go look, I left for some years. When I go look, bam, they say, the poor got problem now, and the other group, they were taking the association money to pay people a plane ticket to go to convention. Can you imagine? Which is against the 501(c)(3) policy of the United States of America. They were taking money, giving it to poor to go to Liberia.
Is this alleged? Is this alleged, or do you have evidence?
Proven documents. I'm saying as I said here, I got copies of bank statements. As soon as my Kun took over the account, I told Kun make copies of the bank statements. And he made some copies of some. He didn't make copies of, but I had copies of bank statements here. He forwarded to me.
So are you saying, sir, that the organization could not purchase the ticket for the president or any executive who were to travel in the name of the organization that was unconstitutional? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was against the financial policy.
So then how would the president?
What makes it wrong?
He has to pay for his own ticket?
Yes, as a struggling organization.
But how do we know you're struggling? And you got fat
because listen now, because of our finances, our bank balances. So it's a volunteer organization, people contribute.
Okay. Let me quickly ask you this question.
Further, money were not deposited. Say we go to a program today, Saturday, right? We collect 10,000. 10,000 should be deposited at least Monday or Tuesday into the bank's account. Money was already, I got the records here. But anyway, I left because I knew it was not going nowhere. When I go look, boop, they started fighting among themselves. They person ate money, they ate this money, and I said, I told you, it won't last. Everybody was benefiting from this little money we're collecting here to help the poor people in the Kru Town. Money.
So you're on the other side now. What is the financial integrity on the other side?
Oh, we have accountability. Every money paid to the association is transparent. We put it out there in the chat rooms. Our financial secretary posts every money collected, every penny, every money we spend, every meeting. We get financial updates. We tell people how much we have spent during the period. We get our cash flow statement and everything. But on our way back, Wayback said that, and Wayback knows me very well. I don't know him. I never saw him in Kru Town before, but he knows my little brother. My little brother is his brother. But he knows me very well. And I told him, he said, financial documents are secrecy. I go, what? When I was chairman of an association in America, my high school association, I even published my bank statement. If you publish a bank statement to your members, they cannot take money from the bank.
Okay.
But we want to expose
So
transparency.
what? Just before we take leave of you, what is your current role in the other?
As
NEKTAA?
vice chairman of
He's
the
vice
board.
president
Okay.
or vice chair.
Yes.
All right. So we've extended invitation. We've extended invitation to the current leadership on the other side. So hopefully we can come together and hear your side of the story.
My brother, don't waste the time. I didn't know about money for one man business.
Yeah, but we still want to hear the other side.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I got documents here. We have. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, I like this. It was good that some people, had to come here, and now that we've given the invitation, Moses. And
we'll work it out.
Balance the scorecard. But Mr. President, you've heard from 3 people on the other side and 1 person on your side. Some of the things that talked about here with regards to financial integrity under your leadership when you were probably the person handling the money and now current president of this branch of NEKTAA. Anything that sounds to be true where you said financial documents should be a document of secrecy, particularly for a non-profit organization that people are paying money to sustain?
Okay, thank you so much. That's a big package to unpack. But
was that a locker room conversation?
Yeah. So these are the things. The first person said Wigba has been in the financial department for 8 years. That's true, and this is why Wigba has been in the financial tearing for 8 years in the association. We got for all of our positions, we got two terms per position, and 1 term is 2 years. So I started with the organization from financial secretary.
Okay.
So the first term I had an opponent, Daniel Tuawe myself ran for the first time as financial secretary, and I won.
Okay.
So the second term as financial secretary, I won unopposed with white ballot. Then my term expired financial secretary, I moved on to the treasurer. I won unopposed for the first term, I won unopposed for the second term.
That makes it 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. So it tells you if we are going unopposed, it's something. So we are unopposed all the time, unopposed. Even in one of the conventions also, in my absence, I was elected. I had to go, but then something happened and I put in for excuse. In my absence, I was elected as financial secretary at the time. So Volcano, it tells you, as opposed to the guys, what they say. This organization, when we came in, financially, it was down, way down. We even used to credit money to have conventions.
Yeah.
Daniel Tuawe will bear me witness. We used to. And before I could leave the treasurer position, our revenue had gone up to about $25,000 annually.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it tells you something. Those guys that are singing the song about money, 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 trust me, they were those who were in the organization, they were not even paying penny. They claimed they were board members, executives, they were not paying. Not to disparage Brother Walker. At one time he came back, he promised to have contributed towards the program, and we never saw him again. During a breakaway, that's when he coming back and he says he had to call it board co-chair. So the whole financial stuff they're talking about. So I tell you, Moses and Volcano, I tell you, in Liberian organization, and it says NEKTAA is one among many Liberian organizations that believe in accountability and transparency. For the past 10 years, we have financial reports up to 10 years back. I can send them to you anytime you want me. I can send them to you. We still have the impact with names and all. Just to backtrack, we went to Florida. When we went to Florida, the gentleman who we invited to be the guest speaker, just before he could come, we at his seat, We placed a copy of the financial statement on his table. He went through it quickly, and he came to me and asked. He said, "Who prepared this report?" I said, "I prepared it." He shook my hand. He said, "Thank you." He said, "These things we don't see in a lot of Liberian organizations also." So one thing that impacted our revenue intake and took it up to that level was reporting, accountability, because we account to the people. So what I know Walker, I know him very well. What he's saying about money, 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 trust me, NEKTAA does not have transparency issue or accountability issue. That's totally false.
Okay, so
we,
Can I, am I,
Moses, quickly,
Yeah.
let's watch
Yeah.
time. We are 8:30.
yeah.
We'll do
So,
another.
can I
we'll do
come in?
another-
yeah, Felicia, go on.
Quickly before you come in, we'll do another 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Felicia.
So I wanted to address, I wanted to address a little bit about the issue. Was it the vice chair of the board? I can't remember his name, but he mentioned something about check being written to Emmanuel and somebody else. So you I guess they're just saying it because of other people. He told you he left the organization and came back. We have an organization that runs every year. We go for conference, we go for convention, big convention in different states. At that convention, we have a hall, we have other things that we get ahead, way ahead of time before we get to the convention. So it's almost like you have to rent a hall, rent a U-Haul and other stuff. How they expect us to get that money before they get to the convention, and some of them not even pay. That's the check they're talking about. So before, if Emmanuel or Mr. Wula wanted to steal any money from an account, would they write a check in their own name and put it on their record? Like, I wanted to talk, whatever they're saying, they're just saying it from DC and whatever. But somebody will not steal and put something in their name for you to identify where that money going. It will be a question like, where is this amount? But to show how accountable their money they use or how accountable they are, you see where the money going. If Wula pay for her out of his own pocket because he's going to rent a car, drive from another state, 7 hours to carry a blanket or decoration to a place, how you expect him to get paid back? It's from whatever we do at that convention, included in our budget, will be written a check from Emmanuel to Wula, stating what I checked from. So yes, it has to be done. Right now, the organization, we have our account. But before I send money, I do the money to the transaction to Liberia. I will have to go to our treasurer, which is Lucia. I will have to ask her. She will send money to me because I have a Wells Fargo account. We have the Zilla. So Zilla coming to my account, I will take that money and send it to SendWave for the people payment in Liberia. Does that mean I'm stealing the money? It's all accounted for. So I guess they're just messing things up. It's not true about that check. They need to find out why that check was written and what reason it was for. They're just listening to people out there. That's why I wanted to clarify.
Okay.
So Moses,
Yeah.
let me just throw my one question and then you can roll. I just
Okay.
wanted to check on you guys with this stampede. And it was way mean. We didn't have the opportunity. And Moses, Mr. Weirwa and Madam Swain, the honest truth here is calamities take place in Liberia, whether people get missing, people get killed, and the first week or two it becomes wildfire, and all of a sudden it dies, and we don't hear the outcome of how the matters were resolved. I believe it was 29 people, if I still recall the number, that died as a result of the stampede, which included kids and adults.
Yeah,
Come again?
I said, yeah, in the Kru Town.
Yeah. And the other side just talked about fund drive that was put together. Your side of NEKTAA, what's the story now with regards to stampede? What's the resolution? Did anyone, was blamed, had to do some reparation, give back to those family members of those people who passed. What's the story? How involved was the government? Your relationship with the borough, and just the senator, the representative from the community. Tell us where we are with everything right now.
Yeah. Regarding the stampede issue in a borough also, as we speak, we have not gotten update as to the full story, what happened, who to be blamed, whether there's any reparation coming after also. We are yet to receive updates on those type of issues also. But what we did in the interim was to, when the situation occurred, was to launch um, relief effort to be able to address the needs of victims and their families. But again, because of the peace, the priority we give to the peace process also, we tend we don't want to do one thing and say one thing and then doing another thing. So anything that has to do with fundraising, we decided to suspend those activities and focus primarily on a peace issue, because we feel that with getting one piece and unity also, we can accomplish much, even with the stampede issue. Because what we think about doing is that the folks have died. A lot of few parents were involved in a situation that died. They are left family behind also. And we have the microfinance program already in place. So what we're thinking to do is that we can, and our folks on the ground are in the process of doing a survey, reaching out to family also and see which of them are interested in business to be able to sustain their family also, in the absence of the how they call it, the parent.
Yeah.
So they are doing a survey. So we hope that at the end of the survey, when we should have gotten a good idea as to the victimized family, which of them are interested in business also, and then we can enroll them into our microfinance project. And for the others, whatever way we can help them also, we hope to. But regarding update as to the government intervention as of now, even a solution also, we don't know. But we too, we know that there's the main issue that gave rise to that, it had to do with the Zogos. So even into our community program also, we're trying to develop a community program that can bring, those challenging groups together also, to be able to organize them into some sort of productive programs that can be able to help them, so that what occurred at NEKTAA Town will not be repeated. So we are forecasting a greater plan to be able to avoid reoccurrence, and at the same time be able to help victims' families. So we try to create a balance there. But again, we feel that peace is very important, because with peace, we can generate a whole lot of support from out there to be able to do the things also.
Moses, one last question, because
Yeah. So, Mr. President, and I want for you and Mickey to answer this. While you guys are doing everything to keep the organization alive, in terms of touching the lives of the people of Nuku Town at this time, because I heard your opponent saying that they got serious things lined up and what they are being able to do over the months. What are you doing in Nuku Town, or what are you planning on doing for the people of Nukutan that would rather make them to feel that, hey, the Wilbur administration is touching lives?
I'll let my vice go first. Mickey, you can go first.
Well, right now, presently, what we have, we still in. I think somebody still sending text to your group, so it's keep coming up in from my
Yeah,
phone.
just
still helping out. We still helping. We still maintaining the library. We still maintaining the library. We're trying to bring full electricity at the library because it's still back and forth with the current situation. It keeps spoiling the desktop there, the laptop. So we're working towards that, getting something like the solar system for the library. We have plans for students that we have other things for students. Basically, we're trying to help the youth there. We're trying to have a contest for the kids to keep them busy. We're trying to open a little place in there for children who are, abused home in Africa. You know how the kids home and yet their parent, mom and dad fussing at each other. We're trying to establish a little place for them so they can be able to go somewhere and read and watch TV. Something that will calm them down when everything else is not working for them. So we have a lot of different plans for our youth because we have to start from there. If you start from us, it's not even helpful. So we're trying first to start from the little kids. They need our help. That's what we are focused on right now. And we did do a lot of stuff. We help when it comes to during the COVID time. We help our redemption. We still pay our staff. We're still doing other stuff though. But we want to keep it because it's a lot of things when you put out there, other people just take it. So we will just keep it until it's done and you will see it.
So yeah, so to buttress my vice president, in addition to that, we feel that Moses, you and myself are here. For almost every day or two, you go to the phone and pick and get a call. You get to know that somebody has died back home, either a friend, a loved one, or you name it. So, and some of the things we deduce that some of the death can be premature because lack of knowledge. So one of the things we try to do is to do what we call community health awareness sensitization. We want to train some youth and be able to assign them to the various communities so they can be able to educate the local residents about their health needs.
Okay.
What to eat, what not to eat, in case of emergency, what to do in the absence of health officer also. So these are the things that, for example, blood pressure, diabetes, the thing, how to know your status also. So these are some of the things we're working on so that our people can somehow be able to improve their quality of life. So there are a lot of things we're looking at, and we're not making noise about what we're doing because we see it as an obligation. But indeed, we are working and doing other things also, and we really don't take pride in blowing our own trumpets also.
Thank you so much, our panel tonight. We congratulate you for good conversation here tonight. Thank you, Ms. Swain and Mr. Wilbur. It was good having you. Hopefully, at some point, we'll bring the other side to hold this conversation, and you will be on the other side to do some reporter by calling in. So we want to thank you for the time. And don't forget, make the Issues Room your platform. Spread the word. We're here to support the community. This is not all politics. It's about community engagement. Yeah. It's about sports. It's about entertainment. It's about health. It's about education. It's about freedom of the speech, freedom of the press. It's about all of the things. That's what we do. That's what makes us the alternative. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We say have a good rest of your night.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, Moses. And I wish you guys the best. Thank you so much for your platform.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you.
So Moses, that's it, man. We're going.
Yeah, thanks. It was indeed a great show. Thanks for Kano, and hope to be back on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
I want to thank all of you, our viewers and listeners, wherever you are, all over the world, particularly Liberia, our native country, and here in the diaspora, where we have thousands and thousands of Liberians, and those of you in Europe, those of you in Australia, those of you in Asia, and the rest of you in other parts of Africa. We say thanks for being a viewer, a follower, a liker, a supporter to the Issues Room. We are the alternative. Here we discuss the things that matter. We just had our 62nd edition on Tuesday next week. We'll be coming with our 63rd edition. So we encourage you to share the word, spread the link. My name is Volcano Shelton. Have a good night.